Hello. I wanted to hop on and talk a little bit about Jamie Beck, who I am currently obsessed with. So I know that I had you guys go onto her Instagram and look through these highlights that she has on here. Um, but I wanted to talk a little bit about like your assignment that you're going to have and the process I sort of want you to follow, because her work, as you can see if you looked at her highlights, is so much about process. She's amazing. I'm obsessed with her. So she's up to day 41. So today's day 42, which I haven't watched today's yet. So I'm gonna pick a favorite one. I think we'll look at the making of this one, although I love the making of this one too. As I explained to you, what I want you to do. Let's see, where's that one? Here it is, day 30. Go here. I already clicked through some of it, so it's not showing it all, but let me go back. Okay, so the thing I wanted to like make note of is that she kind of like goes and like forages every day to find what she's going to use for her photo. And sometimes it's really super simple because that's all she could find. And then sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. So this one, she went for a walk and, looked around to see what she could find. And this is something that I want you guys to consider doing. So I don't know what the parameters are for you in your current quarantine situation. Like, are you going for walks every day? Maybe you are. Maybe you're not leaving your house at all, except like to go into your yard. That would be fine. So either way, no matter what you are currently doing, you can do this with what you have. There are some days where she just uses what's in her refrigerator and makes it look beautiful. This one is that she happened to go on a little walk. She found eggs. She's like sourcing all these flowers, a snail. She has a bug collection, which is interesting. If you have a bug collection, cool, use it, but you probably don't. And then she just uses what she has to build it together. So this is, she's using a foam block. Sometimes she uses vases. She just kind of like finds stuff. And there are some days, if you really look through, like I really encourage you to watch these every day because they're really beautiful and compelling. Some days she has like a plan for what everything in the photo means in terms of isolation. And sometimes it's just her making something beautiful with what she found. So here she is kind of piecing it together. There's a little snail. Okay, water droplets. I love this. I think it brings everything to life. You have a little spray bottle. She's got all these bugs. I actually have a dried butterfly that I'm going to try to use when I do my sample. Super cool. She's throwing bugs in there everywhere. She's got her camera set up and ready to go. If you're not going to be in this photo, you don't have to put it on a tripod or put it on a counter. But she does give settings. If you wanted to try out her settings, she typically tells you what settings she used. Here it is on this one. Obviously using different camera, different lens, but you can try out her settings if you wanted to. See, look, a gift of spring for Easter. So this was a few days ago, obviously, but she definitely thinks about what she's making. Shows you a few views of her composition. It's a little snail guy, which is so cool. I mean, you can go out and try to find a snail. Why not? She's using a nice tabletop. She found a nice wall in her house. So those are things you want to think of. Environment. She typically shoots in this area because that wall is really interesting looking. She has an interesting looking tabletop. There it is. And you can see that her editing is sort of everything. And that's going to be something I want you to think of. And then she has posters of these, which it's going to like take everything in me not to buy every single one. So something I want you to think about, as I'm going to ask you to make 5 of these next week. Every day next week, I want you to make an isolation creation, a la Jamie Beck. Okay, so each day I want you to follow this process that she has and create a photo. Okay, this is why I think it's really important for you to watch all of these. I can't put her Instagram highlights on Edpuzzle to make sure that you do it, but if you didn't do it for the previous assignment, I really, really highly recommend that you do, because they're just so beautiful and interesting, and they give you like such insight into her process. Here's I love this portrait one. Let's see if it'll let me click on it.
All right, it's day 32 for me in my isolation creation series. Today is creating something in reaction to Macron's speech last night. We are in the studio, so let's get started.
Okay, so she's doing 2 portraits. She lives in France, so it's a little different than here, but here she is, like, styling herself, thinking about what she wants each of her like accessories, what herself to look like for this photo to convey the emotion that she wants to convey. So she's wearing red lipstick in the one where she's not masked, so she wanted to have a red mask. Okay, she's thinking about how she's posing and how her dress looks. She's going to use Photoshop to piece this all together, and this is why I highly recommend that you upload Photoshop onto your computer using the link that I provided. It's somewhere in Google Classroom. You have to look around for it at this point. It probably got pushed down. She really thinks about all of the details, which I think is really, really interesting. Okay, so that's your assignment, and I'm going to try to do a few of these too. I'm actually going to go and do one now, and I will definitely upload I'm going to try to make my highlights very much like hers. And so this is your assignment, and I'm going to posting this video today. It's Friday, because you're going to start doing this on Monday, and I wanted to give you a little bit of time to think about it. And at the end of the week next week, you're going to post 5 of these to Google Classroom. I'm really excited to see what you make, and I hope that your process is as therapeutic and exciting as hers is. I've really loved watching her work, so I'm excited to see yours. And that's really it. Reach out if you have any questions. Hope you're well.